There are moments in the middle of a day that seems completely ordinary, when we suddenly pause and realize we have walked through so many months and years without truly living as ourselves even once. A single moment of stillness in the rush of people passing by. A brief second of silence in the midst of countless voices and tangled thoughts. Just that alone is enough for us to see the quiet exhaustion within, the forgotten desires, and a deep longing for change that has been resting silently in the heart. Many people believe that transforming a life requires a long and difficult journey. But the Buddha taught that transformation begins the very moment the mind is willing to open. When we look back at ourselves with honesty, when we stop running away from our emotions, stop blaming life for our suffering, and begin listening to the subtle movements within our own inner world. 6 months may seem short, yet it is long enough to renew a tired heart, long enough to heal old wounds, and long enough to plant into life the seeds of awakening. With 6 months of mindful living, with understanding, with compassion, you can turn to a completely new chapter of your life. And along that journey, the 6 Buddhist principles will become the foundation that helps you walk steadily and deeply into this path of transformation. If you want, I can continue translating the next section right away. Lesson 1. Taking full responsibility. There is a beautiful image found in the teachings of the Buddha. It is the image of a traveler lost in a vast forest. He cannot see the path, does not know which direction is right, so his steps move forward and backward, becoming more confused the farther he goes. In truth, the path has never changed. It is only that the traveler's mind is still clouded, so the direction becomes tangled. Our lives unfold in exactly the same way. When the mind is not clear, everything becomes complicated. When the mind is not awake, we easily blame life, blame others, blame circumstances, without seeing that the root of all suffering lies within our own heart. The Buddha taught that we ourselves create unwholesome deeds, and we ourselves create wholesome deeds. We purify ourselves and we defile ourselves. This means our entire life is shaped by what we nourish within the mind. Yet for most of our days, we live in a state of unconsciousness. In the past 6 months, how many decisions have we made out of pure reaction? How many words were spoken from anger? How many choices arose from fear instead of clarity? Taking responsibility for the mind is not a burden. It is the power of awakening. When we stop blaming, we reclaim the key to the doorway of our own life. When we understand that every emotion and every action begins from within, we finally rise to become the true author of our destiny. From today onward, each morning ask yourself one gentle but powerful question. What seed do I want to plant in my mind today? Plant a wholesome intention. Plant a moment of mindfulness. Plant a breath of peace. And remember the Buddha's words, echoing like a bell of awakening. No one can save us except ourselves. Lesson 2. Be clear on your path. Imagine a small boat in the middle of a vast ocean. No compass, no direction, no sense of destination. The waves may carry it from day to day, month to month, drifting endlessly without ever reaching a shore. A life without a clear purpose is exactly like that. We keep moving, keep working hard, keep chasing countless things, yet we do not truly know where we want to go or why we want to get there. The Buddha taught that a person who does not know where they are going will become lost in their own life. Because the greatest kind of lostness is not being lost in the world, but being lost within one's own inner landscape. So for you, what is true success? Is it having a calm mind in moments of hardship? Is it the ability to let go of anger so the heart becomes light again? Is it having a healthy body to live fully each day? Or is it living a meaningful life, simple yet deeply awake? From the perspective of Buddhism, success is not measured only by what we achieve outwardly. Success is when our mind becomes clearer than it was yesterday, when our heart becomes kinder, when wisdom begins to illuminate the things we once could not see. For someone who possesses everything but carries a troubled mind is still living in failure. In the next 6 months, set goals that nourish your inner life. 3 things you need to release. 3 things you want to cultivate. 3 things you will practice every single day, no matter how busy you are. It may be releasing an old resentment, cultivating a short morning meditation habit, practicing 1 minute of mindfulness before speaking an important word. The mind leads all things. When your goals align with the light within, the path reveals itself, and having the right direction means you have already walked half of your life's journey. Lesson 3. Building inner discipline. On the journey of transformation, no miracle happens overnight. Every form of spiritual practice needs time to seep into the heart. Just like a tiny seed resting beneath the soil must wait for rain, for sunlight, and for the patient care of the gardener before it can sprout. Our inner life is no different. No one becomes peaceful, deep, or wise after only a few days of effort. But if each day we offer it a little diligence, a little mindfulness, a little loving kindness, our mind will gradually become clear and pure, like a drop of water filtered through many layers of clouds. Meditating for 10 minutes each day is like gently brushing away the dust that settles on the mind from living in the world. A single deep breath can soften an entire afternoon of tension. A brief moment of pausing before reacting can save us from a hurtful word. Discipline in the Buddhist sense is not force or restriction. Discipline is the act of returning to ourselves. It is the care we offer our own mind. It is the reminder that we are worthy of peace. A person without discipline is easily pulled by the world. A small compliment lifts them up. A harsh word drags them down. One minor disruption is enough to make them lose themselves. That is why the Buddha taught that conquering oneself is the greatest victory. For when we master the mind, nothing outside can shake us. In the next 6 months, create a simple yet steady practice for yourself. Meditate a little in the morning. Practice mindfulness while walking or eating. Let go of 3 habits that cause suffering. Cultivate 3 habits that brighten the mind each day. And instead of asking whether you feel like doing something, ask whether it nourishes you. When the answer is yes, your path of practice will naturally become clear and full of life. Lesson 4. Mastering each moment, living as if each breath were the last. Imagine a sand hourglass before you. Each grain of sand falls as softly as a breath. Every grain is a moment of a human life. A second slipping away forever, never to return. We often believe we still have so much time, yet in truth, time moves quietly, flowing forward like a river that never turns back. In Buddhist teachings, the breath is the measure of life. Within each breath, life and death take turns appearing. That is why those who know how to cherish each moment know how to cherish their entire life. A person who does not master time will be swept away by it, running after tasks, running after the expectations of others, running after worries, fears, anger, and sadness. At the end of the day, we look back and realize that we have lived but have not truly lived. Meanwhile, an awakened person can turn even the simplest seconds into deep practice. 1 minute of meditation is enough to clear the mind. A single pause is enough to break the chain of reactivity. 1 deep breath is enough to remind us to return home to ourselves. To live with more presence, you can create a mini retreat within your own day. 1 hour in the morning for the body by caring for your health, relaxing, or moving gently. 1 hour at noon for the mind through a short meditation, reading a passage of scripture, or simply sitting quietly and looking at the sky. 1 hour in the evening for letting go, to set down worries, to forgive, to soothe the tiredness of the day. Just 3 hours of mindfulness like this can transform the rhythm of your entire life. The present moment is the teacher of all enlightened beings. If we learn to live fully in this very moment, we have already placed 1 foot on the path of liberation. 6 months is not long, but it is enough to change the rest of your life if you can cherish each moment the way you would cherish your very last breath. Lesson 5. Elevating your life, becoming the person you respect. Imagine someone climbing a high mountain. With each step upward, their body feels heavier because of the unnecessary things they carry. To reach the summit, they must stop and release the extra burdens weighing them down. Our inner life is the same. If we want to elevate our existence, we must be willing to set down what pulls us inwardly toward lower places. No one can climb a mountain with a heart filled with desire, resentment, or habits that have long settled into the mind. In the past 6 months, whose standards have you been living by? Your own, your family's, society's, or the quiet fears that constantly push you to meet expectations that are not truly yours? The Buddha taught that a noble mind creates a noble life. This means that only when the inner world becomes brighter can the outer world begin to change. In Buddhism, raising one's standards does not mean demanding more. It means living more truthfully. Raising your standards means choosing honest speech instead of convenient words. It means living kindly even when no one is watching. It means choosing what is right instead of what is easy. It means refusing to nourish anger even when life still offers reasons for pain. People who succeed in the world do not choose the easy path. Practitioners on the spiritual path are the same. The road to peace often requires the greatest courage and perseverance. In the next 6 months, you can begin with a simple practice. Write down the 5 worst things you never want to repeat again. It may be a harmful habit, a negative reaction, or a way of living that drains your heart. Once you see clearly, you will know how to take the next step. If you want life to change, you must change the way you live each day. When the standards within your heart rise, everything around you will gradually transform with them. Lesson 6. Cultivating an unshakable mind amid the waves of life. Imagine a great mountain standing beneath the open sky. At its foot, winds blow, storms arrive, thunder roars, and heavy rains come and go. Yet the mountain remains there, steady and silent. Its surface may change, trees may fall, rocks may shift, but the essence of the mountain never wavers. The mind of a practitioner must be trained to become like this. In a world filled with constant change, what we truly need is not a place to escape, but an inner strength that keeps us from being swept away by the waves of emotion. 6 months of practice is 6 months of standing still in the middle of life and observing how we react, observing how the mind moves, observing what causes us pain. The Buddha taught that no one can harm you unless you allow it. This teaching is not meant to harden the heart, but to remind us that true strength does not lie in changing the world, but in changing the way we receive what the world brings. An unshakable mind is not a cold heart. It is a mind that sees clearly the impermanent nature of all things. It understands that emotions come and go like guests who only visit for a little while. It recognizes that fear, anger, and sorrow are not our true essence. When we stop identifying with emotions, they lose the power to lead us and destroy our peace. To cultivate such stability, you can practice 3 simple techniques. Contemplate the breath to bring the mind back to the body. Contemplate the body to recognize the presence of life. Contemplate the mind to watch its movements without judgment. Doing this each day allows calmness to grow, spreading like a soft light filling a dark room. When the mind becomes steady, the world naturally shifts as well. People may speak whatever they wish. Circumstances may change without warning. Yet you will remain steady like that mountain, peaceful in the midst of strong winds, clear-minded among countless choices, and free even in situations that once felt confining. 6 months is not truly long, yet it is enough to renew an entire life if we walk with an awakened mind. Wherever you are on this journey, remember that each breath is an invitation to return to yourself, an opportunity to begin again, a way to live more slowly and more deeply. The 6 lessons shared today are not beautiful words to listen to and forget. They are like small seeds resting in your heart. If each day you water them with gentle discipline, with expanding compassion, and with the light of wisdom, they will grow into a life that is more peaceful, more grounded, and more beautiful than you ever imagined. The Buddha taught that when the mind is pure, the world becomes pure. So begin with yourself. Begin today. Begin in this very moment. If this video has offered you even a little peace or a spark of inspiration to begin your next 6 months of transformation, leave a comment saying, "I choose transformation." And do not forget to subscribe so we can continue walking together on this path of healing and awakening.